I went on a nice long road trip. I drove 8 hours down, 8 hours back. Check engine light decided to come on like halfway through the first trip. Took it to a place and it's like, it's got some intermittent issues. You'll probably be fine. Put some fuel injector cleaner through it. Check engine light went off. Things were good. Till we started to come back home. Came back on again. Got home. Had no heat. Furnace decided didn't want a furnace. So it's been a good week. Great week even. Yeah, it's made 1,000 miles running perfectly happily. Just want to give me a scare and go, what if we turn this light on? The light that means maybe things will be fine, or maybe you'll have thousands of dollars in repairs. Because that's the fun part.
I feel like your car is bungeeing you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is. On the way down, it gave you a twid, and it was like, look, we're going to make things better. But then the week after, it was like, but are we?
It's chock full of unstable cores. We'll just put the unstable core inside. There will be some number in there. We're not sure. You have some cores. Some of them are stable, some are unstable. We're not really sure how many are which. It's going to be exciting. Good luck.
Watch this space.
Right. Yeah, but I'm here. I'm back. There's a game. Everything we're sloping up the we're cooking from the we're cooked, it seems like.
I mean, I believe you.
Welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter Destiny 2 podcast, a fantastic show dedicated to bringing you the latest blood-curdling intel, the spookiest news, and the most chilling opinions from the farthest depths of the underworld. Whether you're a newly resurrected zombie, fresh from the Cosmodrome, or a survivor of the zombie hordes, this is your Destiny destination. We'll arm you with tips, tricks, and hauntingly worthy tools to help you triumph, thrive, and survive the fight. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show.
So, are you sticking around, Noble, or are you gonna go?
Up to you, mate. I mean, I don't mind. I only nipped in to say hello, but
You can stay. It's fine.
oh, okay. I'll lag about like a bad smell then.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, we can welcome Noble to the show this week as he's decided to stick around and chat with us and tell us his experiences of Destiny this week with me and Peroty. And we had some fun, didn't we, Noble, this week? You actually did say you enjoyed yourself playing this week.
Yeah, I did actually. I came on and I did Heliostat. And, you know, like, I know it's got a lot of bad rep, but I actually really enjoyed it. So there you go.
There you go. That's the official Noble seal of approval.
Done. Really enjoyed it. Good times.
Yeah, I did really enjoy it. Yeah, it was good. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. It was all right. You know what I mean?
He's got to play it less times than I did, because when we went through and I was trying to show him where all the intrinsics were, he was hitting them before I could get there, which meant that he then stole them all because there's a glitch for the fact that nobody else in the party can get the intrinsics. So I had to go back through after he departed and go and get my own intrinsics by myself. Yeah.
Here we go. This is the reason you asked me to hang about, isn't it?
No, it wasn't. No,
so
it wasn't. I was going to talk about our experiences. I was going to talk about our experiences behind your back, basically.
See, he's just looking for someone who's played the game this week to talk about it with, because I still have not set foot into the game or Heliostat because I've been nowhere near an Xbox for the last week. So see, someone has to be able to know what's going on and not just go to Zavala and pick up all the goodies from the chest.
I have kind of sort of changed my mind on it, and I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy going back through with Noble, and then I went back through by myself to go and get my intrinsics, and then I went back through, I think it must have been Wednesday because you weren't there. I went back through and I did it on Master or one of the higher tiers to go and get the catalysts. So I followed the Fallout Plays guide of week 2, which I will link in the show notes, of where to go and get these catalysts. And I did it solo. I don't know how long it took, but it took some time to go through and do that. But I did pretty well with my sword build because my strongholds are back. I just want to remind people again that the strongholds are back and they are amazing. So yes, I enjoyed that. I was able to kind of sit in one of the rooms and just snipe poor old whatever his face off with No Land Beyond. And I got all my catalysts done. So my sword axe is complete.
Do you like it? Now that's complete. Is it better?
Don't know
More
really.
fun?
It was one of those things of go get all the things and then
He
stick it in the
doesn't
vault.
know. He doesn't know because it's an axe and not a sword, and he's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
gonna use it
I
because
did
it's
say
an
last
axe
week.
and
No,
not a
I did.
sword.
No, I did say I used it last week, and I was trying it with my strongholds, but I didn't read the actual description on the sword axe to say that it has no guard potential. You could just run around with a sword axe, and it does lots of damage stuff. But the idea of the strongholds is the blocking part of it. So I still need my swords. So it is a thing. But there's lots of little secrets in Heliostat which I wasn't aware. And then running back through it again, I was more concentrating on getting the data pads, going back and following Fallout's guide. But Evase did a video this week, which I really, really enjoyed, where he talks about the connections between Neomuna, Heliostat, Spire of the Watcher, and what's the dungeon that's in space with the big...
The Deep Stone Crypt Dungeon.
Yes, that one. The
Yep.
one with the big thing in space. I can't
Yep,
remember the name of it.
That one. It's a dungeon.
Yeah, that one.
No, you two are not really being helpful.
No, not at all. Because I'm sitting here going, I know exactly what you mean, but I cannot think of what it's
I
called.
can't think of the name of it. At least I knew you were talking about the Deep Stone Crypty one.
It's not Ghost of the Deep. It's not Prophecy.
Vespers. It's
Vesper's Radius or something like that.
Vesper's Host.
Vesper's Source.
Radius.
That's the Warlock one, isn't it?
Yes. So Evase did this really cool video which links the AI that was on Vesper's Host that also at the end of doing the Vesper's Host dungeon has the distress message from Lodi, which then connects that to us going to Kepler and rescuing Lodi and doing all of that. And then that ties in with this exotic mission, which then ties in with Neomuna. And it's a really cool detailed breakdown of it. He plays all the audio logs and shows you all the different kind of where it all kind of connects and where the story possibly could be going. So I really enjoyed that part of it, but I wasn't actually paying attention to that when I was going through it. So if you enjoy that, maybe go back through and listen to kind of when you pick up the catalysts, it gives you the extra bit of dialogue for where the story could possibly keep going.
Yeah, there's so much. Again, this is where I wish there was better ways to enjoy the story. There's so many interconnected narratives and things that are all linked together. It's like, I'm sure it's all here. I wish it was just easier to access and to find, but that's why we have YouTube.
It is. But before I joined Noble this week, I actually managed to go proper flawless in trials. I was so pleased with myself. I couldn't believe it. I picked up the yellow passage with the one that guarantees you getting to the lighthouse no matter what. But I actually got 7 wins in a row with no losses, and I was so stoked about it. I was just like, this is amazing. And I got lots of good, cool tier 5 loot, and I did it on my Warlock. So I've now done it on my Titan, and I've now done it on my Warlock. I'm now going to see if I can do it on my Hunter, but I'm not looking forward to it because the only thing I know on my Hunter is Le Monarch with Oathkeepers. So if I can find a buddy and run around behind them and just shoot people with Le Monarch and they finish them off, we're golden. So yeah, that's my next challenge.
I think at this point you could just bring the Warlock and have like 6 extra buddies with you. But yeah,
Well, that's what I was doing. I had the Warlock. Well, no, I had my Strand Warlock with all my little threadlings, and I had my Lethal Abundance, and the map was, I think it was Javelin 4, which wasn't too bad for kind of long and short range. So it was really good. And it wasn't like I was sitting on people's coattails for this. I was actually participating and doing quite a lot of kind of killing and flanking, and I felt really good about myself for trials. It may just be because there's a low population in trials and it's just all of us kind of amateur skilled players now in there, which is pretty good because anybody can then get to the lighthouse.
I don't know, that could definitely be a double-edged sword. So I jumped in
Yeah.
a little bit last weekend, again, just trying to get some auto rifle rolls, knowing full well I didn't have the desire nor the time to get to try to get to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
But it was some of our matches went really well and some of them just did not. So I mean it is still just feels like just a hodgepodge of, you may go in and it's like competitive where you actually get competitive matches that feel good to play, and sometimes you're just like, hey, I'm here to enable you to get to the lighthouse. Enjoy your passage. just move my body out of the way. Just kick me to the side. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, I'd done one run through with my Warlock beforehand, and I think I got a win streak of about 3, and then just carried on until I kind of got my 7 wins and then went to the lighthouse. And I thought, well, I want to go back through. I'm really enjoying playing Trials. I know it sounds strange, but I really do love playing Crucible when there's like a downtime of, I mean, I've still got loads of things to do. Don't get me wrong. I've still got campaigns and blue missions to kind of do on Kepler and stuff like that. But I just really I just enjoy playing Crucible. And when it's a kind of a downtime, it just that's where you'll find me. I mean, the only downside to it was that I couldn't invite Noble in. Well, I mean, I could, but we found from past experience, when you start putting 2 or 3 players in there, it goes downhill very quickly, and it's not as enjoyable. That's the problem. Is that you can't. It's come back to that thing of playing solo seems to be better for you. I mean, it just. And Blue was like, "Oh, you're playing Trials. Let me know if you ever finish." Like, yeah, okay. And then by the time we went to do the exotic mission, he'd already gone off. So,
Yeah, let me know if you're not doing that.
yeah.
I
felt so bad.
Again, though, I mean, I only joined you to say hello.
Mm.
You know, it was just.
See how that went.
Yeah, no. I mean, there was. You could have invited me to play Trials. By all means, you could have done, but you'd have got to know, because after the last time we played Trials, I'd have not put myself through it again.
Yeah, and that's the problem, isn't it? It's just, it seems to be rewarding, and it seems to be like it matches you up against people of your own skill against your own skill for the majority of the games that I play anyway. And it always seems to be a fighting chance. But as soon as you add a team member or somebody that a friend with you, that's when it all seems to go out the window. And it's like, well, there's 2 of you, so you must be really good. It's like, no. We are just as bad as each other.
Well,
we just want to play some Trials.
I mean, if I join you, it's like a 1.25% of a person. I'm the 0.25% of a person, because, yeah, I am that useless at it. But, yeah, no, it's a horrible experience, these Trials, when there's more than one of you.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Mercury said a couple. I think we mentioned a couple of weeks ago. And some of it just depends on which passage you're on. Because if you're on the Lighthouse passage, matchmaking is random, so you're going to get whatever. But if you're on the Trials passage, it'll match you based on your performance that weekend in Trials. And if you're playing with other people, then it's going to go off, like the performance metrics of the better of the 2 or 3 players. So it really is dragging the other person up into the higher tier. If you're playing together, if you're on that passage, again, if you're on the other passage, matchmaking is totally random. So who knows what you're going to get? You're going to get, the other 3 people who are just jumping in to farm some weapons, and you're going to get the 3, 97-time flawless Trials gods that you just blink and the match is over, and you say, thank you for the loss, let's just keep going. It really is just such a hodgepodge, and that's sort of, again, I was just playing it solo just for a couple of matches, again, just trying to get the auto rifle roll last weekend. And it really was just, some of them were competitive. We never really found, the Frostbolts of the world and the Grenadier Jakes who just wiped the floor with us, but some that were close.
I just think it's a horrible experience.
Yeah, but I'm sort of like you though. Especially when the population gets low, I'm like, well, let's go to Crucible, because Crucible's enjoyable and it's always a little bit different. And since you won't bring my other game mode into the portal, we'll play that one.
Yeah, I did do a bit of kind of playing around with the portal and seeing what the changes were, because we were all a bit fearful. It wasn't going to be worth it. I think the only reason it is now kind of worth it in the portal and playing portal activities is because the rewards are now there, basically. All the extra green engrams that are now at that power level. I think I went from 450 up to 470 in just one day. And I'm not playing all day, but for like 2 or 3 hours. So I went up 20 levels, and it was ridiculous. Again, if you jump from different kind of playlists in the portal, so like do the Caldera, where you get the extra bonus drop plus your 3 drops and the actual drop at the end, and then you go to the fire team and find the one that's got the most engrams that are available if you get the B+ rating. It's just raining loot. And I found the same thing that Cheese found, and he's done a video on it this week, is that Bungie don't seem to be able to do math properly with some of the portal debuffs that you can kind of apply. So the enemies are kind of gated to whatever level you are now. As we went over like last week and the week before, it's like where I'm sitting at 450, I'm in, I think it's in the between Master and Ultimate or whatever it was, the levels that I'm in. But the enemies, no matter how many kind of boons and banes and things that I put on and stakes, the enemies still stay the same. But the only thing that kind of adjusts now with adjusting all these boons, banes, and stakes is what reward you kind of get at the end. So now that I'm above 450, I'm then kind of looking at platinum scores, and I can get tier 5 drops now, which is pretty good. And I was putting on the Avant-Garde, which it said it counted for 5. And then I was putting on a Bane, which also counted for 5. And it bumped the engram up to a tier 5. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. And it wasn't until I kind of watched Cheese Forever's video where he was saying that for some reason the ones that seem to say that they've pushed the score up by 5 actually push it up by 6. And to actually get to that same score with putting on the individual 2s and 1s and 3s and whatever else is kind of in those boons, banes and things, don't seem to add up to the same ones as this. But yeah, if you watch the Cheese Forever video, he explains it a lot better than me because he makes more sense than I do.
Yeah, that was the one thing I did see and watch because it was very short. Yeah, his 5 = 6 video of this should push you up to 5, it pushes you up to 6 because numbers are hard. I'm going to assume it's something is rounding up higher than either they intended or higher than it should be, and you the player benefit. What's not to love?
Yeah, well, I mean, he needs to be quiet, then, doesn't he? Realistically, because it's the sort of thing that we want. Us to benefit.
They're not going to around and fix it. I still can't get to my vaults from the game, so they've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I had just noticed that.
I will say though, if you haven't been to the tower and collected your box of goodies, have you guys been there yet?
No.
I did do that first thing this morning because I always forget to see Zavala. So I did go collect my box. I didn't collect all the boxes of goodies because I couldn't hold everything, but I collected the armor of goodies.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you. The armor works out the same way as that if you go to your dim and you can look in dim to see what armor pieces you need, and it'll say, your class item is -2 of whatever the rest of the other items are. If you go and use dim at the same time as using the box that it gives you, if you're already above 300, it will then push your light up even further. So each item that you pick up, so say I go and picked up the class item, which then bumped me up an extra couple of points, it would then say, maybe my helmet is then -2 at that point. Pick up the helmet, and then it pushes all the other ones up. And the same with, like, if you didn't go and visit Zavala as well, you could then go and pick up the weapon that would also help boost you up. So I did that at the beginning of the week, kind of pushing my light up as well. So that kind of helped a little bit as well.
Yeah, I saw that because I know they said it would boost you to 300, so I wasn't sure what it would do if you were above 300. And I think I was, it pushed me. I don't know. I think I was 410, 415 or something. And I think it pushed me to about 420. So gave me I don't know 5 or 8 points. I don't know exactly what my highest light level could have been when I picked it up. Yeah, a couple of numbers higher. Yeah, but I saw people this week basically saying, I got on and I played for this long, and usually if I play for an hour, I'll go up 1 or 2 light levels. Well, they're like, I played for an hour and then I went up 5 or 7 or 8 light levels. So a lot of the progression seems to have gotten better finally.
Yeah.
I hadn't even looked. I figured because it had said that it was boosting us up to 300, it was just stuck. And that was going to be it. We were stuck at 300, and that's all it was going to give you.
No.
Oh, well, that's a bonus.
It is a bonus.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to visit Zavala every week. I keep thinking early in the week, no, I should wait until the end of the week where I'll be a little higher, then go pick up, the weapon and armor of the week, and then inevitably just forget to do so. So I said, let me do that now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So at least I'll do that. Let me load up Dim with the vendors, and it's also worth reminding people too. Probably if when you go to Zavala and he's got the 5 identical looking weapons more or less, you can load up Dim and go to the vendors, and it will tell you, hey, Zavala has these 5 rolls to hand you. Which of them are good? Which of them are recommended? What are the differences in these 5 rolls? So I loaded that up and said, what do you have for me? Which one of these seems good? So loaded that up, picked up my boom slang, and haven't done the armor yet. But again, I just need to sort through the armor, and I wasn't quite prepared to play the spreadsheet game first thing.
Why not? I see that as a cop out.
I mean, really, my spreadsheet game is just going, okay, you're a tier 3 or lower, let's just delete you. And then call it good, and then we'll figure out the good stuff later.
Fair enough.
I'm still playing that game.
That's perpetual.
I've only just started getting tier 3s, so
yeah, that's just Destiny forever. Do I have this? Are you worth looking at before I delete you, or should I just delete you and say, I'm gonna have better stuff later. I'll never miss this tier 3, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was there? I mean, this is a silly question for someone who purportedly does a Destiny 2 podcast. Was there anything going on this week? I know Arms Day ended, and obviously, Heliostats up to run, and I know we have Festival of the Lost coming, but this is one of our weeks where there was no real event, right? There wasn't anything, no secret people found, no top secret. Oh, go to the tower and talk to Banshee 6 times, and it'll unlock, the new crypt of the whatever.
Well, no, I think the idea was that it was the week that Bungie have decided that they'll revert the changes, see how these kind of go, and then we had the second part of the exotic mission where you could go and get all the catalysts, which I think also was a bit rushed because I think that was probably planned to be over the next 3 weeks, like all the other exotic missions that we've ever had, is that you go and get a catalyst 1 week, you go and get the next catalyst the next week, and then you get the final catalyst in the 4th week. And then it's like, if you want to get all the catalysts in the 4th week, you could just like wait until the 4th week to kind of get them all done. Yep. I feel that this week was that week of, we'll give them that because we've got Festival of the Lost coming the week after. But the one-time reward of 77,000, was it 777,700?
Yes.
Unstable cores. That is amazing. It's just like, I now feel bad when I actually do dismantle something because it's going into the pile of unstable cores of nothingness that's just going to get removed. I'm like,
yep.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting. I mean, I understand why they did it because they want people to play the game now and be able to build craft now. It's like, hey, we're going to give you 750,000 of these right before we take them out of the game. Which, which again, I think it's a win to take them out of the game. They just weren't. Again, it's like there's such a history of, we're going to introduce all these new currencies. Okay, that was way too many currencies and it's way too complicated and complex. Let's now take out half of these or most of these currencies and put it back to something more understandable. They have such ambition for all of these like complex systems and build crafting things and things you're gonna have to balance around. But at the end of the day, it's like, this I'm sure was a good idea, and maybe if this was a different kind of game that would work. But for the looter shooter that we just want to go, shoot things, shoot and then loot and then analyze loot in spreadsheet and then move on to the next thing, it just didn't seem to be it.
No, it's definitely lacking.
Yeah, I mean, again, I still haven't gotten to the point where it was an issue for me yet. But again, just seeing the people who had run the numbers and were there going, I need 400. You're basically in cryptocurrency numbers at that point. I need 4.6 trillion of these to be able to do this, and or how many hundreds of thousands or millions to upgrade my weapons and armor and do all this. It's like that was never going to fly.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they just. Glad they just said, hey, we've decided to just remove these entirely. We didn't have them before. We don't have them now. Like, again, I understand the need to want to sort of balance the play the game, get currency to build craft, but it's just, I don't know. Like, there's got to be a better system to push people to play and to push people to experiment and build craft than just so many new currencies. It just, that it never seems like, that doesn't ever seem like that's the answer to it. Because they just inevitably end up getting removed because they're either just too complicated or too limiting for people, and they just don't engage in them. Or most people, I'd wager haven't even gotten to the point where it would be an issue, but they can look ahead and see, well, this could be an issue. Let me just not.
So, Noble,
Go on.
did you have any kind of feelings about the changes that we were discussing last week in the show with removing the power grind and the bumping people up and not actually kind of giving us a power increase next when we get renegades? How are you now feeling with like the changes we've got in game and going forward after we had that kind of discussion in the Discord a couple of weeks ago?
I feel like it's a positive change. I do think it's positive because nobody wants to sit grinding a ridiculous amount of power every season. Like, why would we want to sit and spend all that time when the power that it's giving you isn't really all that beneficial?
Yeah, true.
What benefit do we have from it all? So
but is that because the game has changed to the point where they have removed light level from a lot of activities, apart from basically the raid and dungeons now?
Then they're not giving you really any raids or dungeons to do. Well, there's one dungeon, and that's it. No, sorry, there's one raid, and that's it.
Yeah, but no, we've got a dungeon coming with renegades.
Yeah, they were then going to make us get all the power again for. So again, they were going to.
But we're not. There's no power increase. If everybody gets to 550, then
yeah. So now we're here at 550. It's fine. But I didn't agree with them resetting us because what's the point? They weren't really pushing us for anything. As it stands at the moment, there's one raid that they pushed us for. So resetting us, it's just nobody wants to sit and grind that amount of power for one raid and one dungeon.
No, I totally get that. But that's the issue. Is then what's going to happen after people have completed, get everything like by week 3 in Renegades? There's got to be something that's going to entice them to come back time and time again. And can Bungie do that?
Well, I mean, they have done in the past, so why can't they do it again? You know what I mean? For seasons and for years, they've given us a reason to come back and play the same thing again and again and again and again and again. So if they just gave us decent quality content, well, yeah, we'd keep coming back, wouldn't we? Because we've proven that we will for years. I mean, if we weren't going to keep coming back, why have I got nearly 300 completions of some dungeons if we weren't going to keep coming back to play them?
But now things have changed, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the point. If they actually made stuff worth coming in for, we'd keep playing them. The problem is, it's all right resetting our power and everything else, but if you're not going to give us anything worth chasing and anything worth doing, we're not going to keep coming back. So we will keep coming back, providing you make something worth coming back for. So you're saying, are people still going to be there after 3 weeks? Well, yeah, if they give us something worth chasing. They just need to give us something worth chasing.
But do you think that would keep a lot of the community coming back after what we've had?
The problem is it's not keeping the community coming back, is it? It's getting the community to come back at all.
Yeah. Do you feel that Renegades would do that?
I mean, remove the Star Wars aspect, and it might spark my interest a little bit more. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know at this point what is going to spark the community's love back for the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
If their ignorance this time, because to be honest, I do think it's ignorant, Bungie. Some of the moves that they've made, I think it's very out of touch with their player base. I know I said in the Discord, and I know you played devil's advocate within the Discord, and you tried, as you always do.
Well, no, I just want kind of information for the show, basically. I want people's opinion.
Which is why you play devil's advocate, you know what I mean? Because you're like, no. If I play devil's advocate and I disagree with whatever they're saying, I can get all the information that I can.
Yeah.
That's the content button. If I hit the content button, I'll have people to share their opinions, and then it becomes content.
Yeah. But as I said to you, like if they staged things out correctly, it wouldn't be bad. I mean, you've got this whole thing now of like you've just said, oh, like we've always had it where it'd be, we had to do 3 weeks worth of this, and then on the 4th week you'd get all
Yeah.
of them unlocked, and you could go and get them. Wrong. No, it didn't used to. It's not always been like that. For a long time, Whisper of the Worm, you could only go and do it once, and then it was your twice, and then it was your 3rd time, and you had to keep doing it week in, week out. It was only when they've relaunched Whisper and made it craftable.
I'm gonna disagree with you with that one.
Go on. You couldn't ever go in and complete Whisper in 1 week for its catalyst.
No,
Never.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you had to do it multiple times.
You had to do it multiple times. You had to do it on the 3 different burns. You had to go in to get, and I think that was to get the ship, wasn't it? You had to do it on the legend difficulty and do it on the 3 different burns to get the ship. And then you also had to go through and do shooting all of the oracles as well.
The oracles in order.
To get the catalyst. So there were multiple weeks to it. This is what I'm saying, that there was multiple weeks to, I think, even with Kel's Fall or Kel's Vengeance, whichever the exotic mission is for the shotgun, that had multiple weeks where you had to go in each week and do a different thing. Encore as well, different paths in the Encore mission. Yeah, only recently, and then they've just changed it this week, and I think that's a panic button response. Is that they've changed it because they were like, oh, well, we have got Festival of the Lost, so if we put them all in this week, and this is the kind of downtime week, then that will give us something for people to play.
Yeah, but when you said it a minute ago, you were saying that we could go in and we could complete it all on the 4th week. Well, we never used to be able to do that.
Oh no, you could. Whisper was different because that was different burns on each week. But for like things like Encore, Kel's Vengeance,
you never could with Thingy either. What was the other one? The exotic pulse rifle that's massive at the minute. Outbreak.
No, that was another one that you had to do it on the 3 different weeks to do the different time dilation clocks in the thing. Yeah, those were the old versions. But since we've had these new exotic missions, because like Passage, you have to kind of go in. You could go in each week and get the catalyst for,
or then you could go in when it was all released all at once. Yeah.
So they've changed it up. It's really
that's
weird.
my point. It never used to be like it is now. So, like when you were saying in the Discord, oh yeah, but people don't like time gating. Well, it was acceptable, wasn't it? When the content was worth playing.
People complained constantly
in a much lesser number.
Yeah,
it was much lesser numbers to what complains now. Now you've got people complaining because the guy on YouTube tells them to complain.
When people are complaining now too, I mean, just because Bungie, they've gone all the way in. Play with your friends, have a good time, important to play together. And then now let's invalidate most of the game and make it convoluted for the last, when did Edge of Fate come out until now? So confusing to play together and to figure out how to play together and, how to progress. So it's like, do you want me to play together or do you want me to, go in and spend a few minutes, tricking out this mission every time I go to run something? It's like we were driving very happily down the Destiny road. We're all here. We're all playing things. We're running things. We're enjoying our grind. We're enjoying, playing the game. And then all of a sudden, Bungie just yanked the car off the road and threw us into a ditch and was like, "Hey, we're over here now. We're going to take this dirt road through this field. I'm sure this will be great." And we're all going, "What happened? Why are we over here now? What's going on?" I mean, it's like it just people talk about the grind and progression. It's like, what? I still don't know. What are we progressing to? What are we progressing for? It's like there's just no. I think, and I think it was. I want to say it was Farrell. Maybe I saw a comment this week basically saying, "Hey, I'm progressing so I can over level myself. So us, us olds can go and play some of the content and be over leveled and make it a little bit easier that way. Because we're not trying to max out." The absolute hardest difficulty. We just want to get through and play and enjoy the content and get the weapon drops and the loot drops out of it, and just make the game a little bit easier for ourselves. We're not looking for more of a challenge. We're looking for sort of less of a challenge because life is challenging enough. I don't need to artificially make everything harder for myself. I just want to play my game and have fun and hang out. And that it's like Bungie's sort of lost sight of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
Bungie's lost sight of a lot of things.
The funny thing I heard on the Destiny Digest podcast this week was Sammy Cat was talking about there's a bows modifier in the portal. She hasn't used it, doesn't want to use it, not going anywhere near it. It was like, and she said she's had people even complain at her that was just made specifically for her. It's like, and I don't like playing the portal. I'm not going to do it. She was like,
if you can't get Sammy Cat, bow extraordinaire, to be interested in your bow modifier, you have lost the plot.
I mean, she was saying, and I think they all are kind of agreeing, is that getting rid of Grandmasters was the worst decision they kind of did, because she would go in and even Grandmasters and dungeons and things and just do like solo bows with no HUDs and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
She was saying now to do the Conquest title, they've got as we all know, if you kind of go and do them, they've got locked modifiers that require you to do certain different things. So she can't take in X, Y, and Z. I don't think there's enough bows in the avant-garde kind of pack for her to kind of do it. So she's like, I'm not going to do it then. What is the point? You're locking me out of doing my own content that I enjoy doing. And and they were all saying that Grandmasters need to be brought back, because that was one of the things that kind of kept the PvE community quite happy. And I do agree. I mean, it was fun to kind of do a Grandmaster here and there for me to go and get whatever the adept weapon is for the week, and for them to kind of strip like the Destiny's director out and just give us what we've got with the portal, I can see where a lot of people are frustrated with that.
I still think the portal is absolutely useless.
Yeah, I mean, between the portal and locking loadouts on everything, I mean, if I were to sit down in a room with Bungie and they could say, like what's one change, what's one, easy enough to implement change. Again, I don't know how easy it is, not a game developer, but as opposed to ripping the entire portal out or redoing the entire thing, which that's maybe the way we should be going. I would just say, don't lock loadouts on everything. Just figure out a better way to balance the game where every activity I go into, it's not locked. I don't want to play solo things with a locked loadout. I don't want to play fire team matchmade things with a locked loadout unless I want to lock it. If I want to lock it, great. I will choose to lock it. We'll have a good time. It'll be fun. But just going into everything and with the weapons I want to bring in and then go, oh, well, I've done this and now I've got a champion I simply cannot deal with and I cannot switch my weapons because, loadout's locked. Haha, we made it harder for you and better. I've quit out of so many activities just going, I'm just to go play something else. I'm going to go back to Crucible. I can go into Crucible. I can change my weapons around. I can have fun. I can play the game how I want to play it. It's just so frustrating. The locked loadout. That is overtaking my dislike of timed events, of timers and things. Just, hey, you're in here now. Hope you're perfectly good for everything and don't want to change it all because you have to use this now. Enjoy.
Yeah,
that drives me nuts. I feel like we're just beating this horse to death over and over again. This poor horse. It's had a rough life.
The other thing I don't like is you're talking about this matchmaking and whatnot. Like, why make it so that things that have been match-made and are designed to have 3 people, why make it so that you have to put in so much effort to actually have a team of people to do it? Why not make it like a modifier for you to do it solo? Make it solo optional. If you want to do it solo, cool. Here's a modifier.
You can do a lot of things solo. That's the problem, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why make it so you have to do things solo? Like, why have strikes? But we're going to load you into strikes by yourself. There's strikes in the game, but I've loaded one, and it's like, you're alone.
Yeah, some of them are match made, some of them aren't. Yeah,
have it so that's an option. Like, I can choose to go and do this by myself. Fine, cool. But this is a 3-man activity. It's always been a 3-man activity.
Yeah, we're not all esoteric.
Yeah, like, give me the option to go and do it solo, but don't make it mandatory that half of your content is solo now.
With a locked loadout.
With a locked loadout, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff I would happily play if I could just adjust the loadout. If you're gonna, I don't want to think about it. If it's like, oh, you could encounter all 3 champions. Guess what? I don't know which champions I'm actually going to encounter, and if it is all 3, and if I can deal with one of them through other means than an anti-champion weapon, like let me go bring my loadout in and adjust it if I need to. It's I'm much more like I said, I'm going to leave the activity versus going, oh well, let me go back out and readjust my loadout and go back in. No, I'll just go play Crucible. I can play that how Destiny should work. Load in with what I want, play a thing, get loot, have a good time with it.
Heliostat is prime example of that, because Heliostat, well, I've just loaded into it and it says that I'm going to face champions, and I'm like, right, okay, fair enough. So I looked and it was like, are you going to face overloads and unstops? Not a problem.
It's barriers, isn't it? We found that out, didn't we?
Yep, checked. It's like, yeah, I've got overload and unstop on. Yeah. First one you come across, barrier. Mint, thanks. Wasn't prepared for that at all. Forgot all about that, didn't I? Because, I relied upon you to actually tell me what was going on. How silly.
Right. And that's the one, like, again, I feel like the other 2 I can figure out a way to do it, but if you throw a barrier champion at me, I'm done. I'm going to leave the activity. And like, there's no way I'm getting through this. Yeah. To say nothing of, you have to tell me accurately what I'm going to encounter in the thing I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like how that is a problem, how that is an issue we're still facing. What are you going to fight? I don't know, something. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I have to prepare ahead of time. It'll be fine. You'll be okay.
But I can't change my weapons. Yeah. Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah. Just restart it again. Just quit out and play it again.
But I'm near the end when I find out.
That's fine.
I don't really see it as a me issue.
Yeah.
No. So frustrating.
It is. So should we have a quick look at the update 9.1.5.1 while we're here? So as we mentioned, you get an abundance of unstable cores because Bungie said, we're going to get rid of them. So here's as many as you can possibly want to upgrade everything to 550 once you get there. And it not really matter. So they're going to give you 777,777 unstable cores in the little chest that's near the tree next to the Zavala in the tower. And as we were talking about with that chest that you get, if you were below 300, it will bring you up to 300. If you're above that and you use the chest properly, if you haven't already done it, you can use it to kind of stack yourself with getting higher and higher light as well for the week. So that's pretty cool. We've had reward power has been improved across PvE and PvP portal content. And the Edge of Fate activity rewards are also getting a small buff from 200 to 300 power. Ooh. They fixed issues with Armor 2.0 copies of Young Ankara Spine, didn't count the feature as featured gear. And they featured an issue where the Iron Panoply Warlock gauntlets could obscure the screen. Now, that was really confusing. We were talking about that last week with what they changed the name of the Iron Banner gear to, and they've changed it all to Iron Panoply set, but they said in the TWAB that it was something else, or in the tweet they called it something else. That something else is the name of the shader that you can go and collect from shacks in the tower. So figured out where they went wrong with that. It's just a weird thing. So
all the words are there. We're just again, not sure exactly which words we need to assign with which items, but you'll figure it out, right? Right, guys?
Yeah. So there was a couple of other things that they kind of did. They traits fixed an issue where the charge time masterwork didn't provide additive stats based on gear tier. Enhanced reservoir burst has had its stability removed and increased magazine stat returned. Aletheum fixed an issue where the Aletheum projectiles weren't counting as micro missiles. Didn't realise that, but there you go. Glacial Harvest fixed an issue where the Glacial Harvest still had a cooldown in PvE. Ensnaring Slam, the class stat Overshield now triggers on Ensnaring Slam activation. Weevil now grants Woven Mail if exited via Finisher. Gameplay, Volatile Shield. Shortly after your shield breaks, you now regen the ability attack with the weapons, excluding swords. While your shield is broken, you now gain Devour. And Portal. The power adjustments have been removed from all challenge modifiers. Instead, players are capped in the effective power in each tier. Grades are now based on the number of green and red arrows applied with via modifiers, banes, boons, and player stakes, as well as activities in the higher player power portal levels. All chests after the first mid-activity on Onslaught, the Coil, the Contest of Elders now drop loot based on your projected score, plus 5% for the timer, for both power and gear tiers. End of activity rewards have been adjusted to account for this. Players will no longer have difficulty tiers automatically selected for them until they meet the power level of the activity. All conquests have had their time limit increased to match the portal counterparts based on the specific tiers. All bonus drops now get power matching the other scored engrams that drop at the same time. What else was there? Anything else that we didn't go over last week?
There have been activity chests to all 3 variants of Reclaim, so more chests than that. Seems like a good thing. The Desert Perpetual stuff, I can't remember. I mean, they did fix the bug with the Whirling Ovation Catalyst drop rate, because I know that just, I think, wasn't dropping for people.
Yeah.
They did. Oh, and they did fix the Guardian Rank 6 objective that required the 3rd iteration weapon to also progress with the new. So now, if you have the new Malpay's weapon, you have the new exotic, that'll work to get you through Guardian Rank 6, and you're not stuck without the 3rd iteration.
Cool.
And you can collect your clan engrams from Hawthorne if you're above 500 power, which you couldn't do, and still don't know if it's worth doing, but you can do it now.
Yay! There you go, Noble. Once you get there, you can get them.
Well, I mean, I might be there in time for Renegades.
Ooh, that's a lot of effort. That's only like 7 weeks out.
Maybe not then. I don't know.
So the unstable cores are going away with Renegades, right? That's what they said. They said with Renegades, which is December 2nd.
Yes.
That's when the unstable cores go away. So basically, we gave you a whole bunch of cores for now. When Renegades comes out December 2nd, the cores go away. So then it won't matter what you need, because it's just going to be.
I think it's going to be Glimmer and unstable core, not unstable cores, normal cores to infuse like it was before.
Yeah. So again, we had the currency. The currency was well hated. We've now removed the currency. Great, perfect. Like that's, and just the complexity of all this is like, why do we keep doing this, guys?
Why do we keep banging our heads against a brick wall?
Like I know you have an entire currency team, but you don't need to. Yeah, but I'm happy they landed on, let's just remove this currency. It's caused nothing but problems and confusion. So I'm glad hey, we're just going to remove it and we'll figure something else out later. Seems like a good plan, because and again, this is one of those things I just have to wonder about. Going back to when we saw the reveal, hey, the solo activities will be could still be match made. It just won't be match made if you bring a friend. Sort of what we were promised the portal to be versus what the portal still is. Again, I wonder if there was some plan or some theory around. Oh, hey, well, if we were able to do all this, then maybe the unstable cores would have worked out better, because it would have, something would have been different. Again, just playing 1,000 what ifs with the game. But as the game is and exists right now, the unstable cores are just preventing people from understanding how to play the game, and just aren't. They're not adding anything. So I'm glad. Hopefully Renegades will be a big reset for, hey, we had some ideas, they didn't really work out. Let's see where things go in Renegades, and if we can right the ship a bit.
Yeah. As a man that lives in the countryside, that has grown up surrounded by farmers, I am a big believer in, if it isn't broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, and
the core system wasn't broken. Didn't need fixing. It was all right. I didn't mind the reset on armor. That's fine.
I do attribute all of this back to the point where they got to the end of the Light and Dark saga, and we finished the final shape, and they were like, what could we do next? We can't do Destiny 3. We haven't been building that behind the scenes. We've been doing all these other things. We've had layoffs, we've had this, we've had that, we've had the merger, takeover, whatever. We've only got this one game. We can continue this one game, but we could kind of do like a soft reset of that game and pretend that it's Destiny 3 internally, and go Destiny 2.5, or Destiny 2 carries on and it's a different game. And I think that's what actually happened. And They should have learned from when they went from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. We didn't like that. The things that they'd built up so much to get to that point in Destiny 1. It wasn't perfect, but it was all going in the right direction. And then because they were building Destiny 2 alongside, and it was like, it looked like we took a giant step backwards with Destiny 2, and then we finally started getting some momentum. Then they've gone, let's reinvent Destiny 2 again. It's like, you didn't need to reinvent it. You just add to it. Just yeah.
Yeah. I still remember like all the strike scoring and the individual weapons we were getting at Nightfall. Like basically all the things we had in Destiny 1 that, come Destiny 2, we're like, well, surely they'll build on all these experiences. And it really was like, like this, like it like you took a snapshot of Destiny 1 from months and months before, and then used that to build out Destiny 2. And it's like, well, you don't have all these extra things we've given you, but I'm sure you'll like this just as well, right? Well, no, because we have all these beautiful things you've iterated and built into this game over the last however many years, and now we've gone back to zero.
Yeah.
I mean, this really does feel like the soft reset. Destiny 3, Destiny 2.5 of let's reset and rethink these things. Well, okay,
maybe not. Yeah, and I just want to throw it out there. Since we've had the Edge of Fate, we've now had 2 Arms weeks and only 1 Iron Banner. What's that about? I know I said I wasn't going to keep going on about it, but I am going to keep going on about it. We've had 2 Arms week and 1 Iron Banner and no other Iron Banner in sight.
Because they've come to realise that Iron Banner sucks.
Yeah, you suck.
and 2 arms weeks with the same arms, with the same.
And I think we've also had 2 heavy metals in the times as well. But we did have a heavy metal at the end of the previous episode, and another one now. But yeah, we've had more of that, and we've had more Solstice. We had 2 weeks of Solstice, and we're going to get 2 weeks of Festival. My mind is blown, and I think we should get into This Week in Destiny for the 16th of October, because they talk about the Festival of the Lost coming up next week on the 21st, and they say it's going to be 2 whole weeks. It's like, who's forgotten that this used to be a 3-week event? 2 whole weeks is not the same as 3 weeks that we used to get, and nobody seems to be addressing this. And I'm like, what is going on?
Did you lay everyone off who was here when it was 3 weeks? So some of us are old enough to remember.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I'm going to save you guys listening and us going through all of the Festival of the Lost stuff, because we did go through some of the stuff last week. But for my This Week in Destiny, I have broken down. I have gone above and beyond. I have found all the stuff that's coming to Eververse. I found all the stuff that's coming with like the reward tracks, and put it in This Week in Destiny. So it's a little bit longer this week for This Week in Destiny, so you can skip it if you don't want to kind of listen to it, or you've already watched the video on YouTube. But I've broken it all down.
And now you'll know everything that's going on. The nice man has told you everything.
At the moment, with the editing of it, it's looking like a 17-minute video, because I provide pictures and do some talking about stuff. So yeah, but it may be edited down even further than that.
You heard it here.
So we'll see you back in about 17 minutes-ish, I guess. It would be time-stamped. This is your weekly rundown for the Edge of Fate, Week 15, starting October 21st. Week 7 of the Asher 9 update sees Destiny's Halloween event, Festival of the Lost, begin, running for 2 weeks from October 21st to November 4th, and is free to all players. This spooky event sees Guardians collect and adorn festival masks to earn eerie engrams, candy, and loot. This year we'll see 2 new activities introduced into the Festival of the Lost. The first is a PvE activity on the moon called Haunted Altars. This is a 6-player match-made activity which is a spooky spin on Altars of Sorrow, where you will have to defeat waves of enemies, build defences, and feed your monster, before popping it like a piñata full of candy. The other activity inspired by Festival of the Lost is Red Rumble. This is a PvP 6-player version of Rumble, where you will have to shoot headless ones to drop ammo, explosive pumpkins, and more tools that will help you defeat your opponents. This season will see the Festival of the Lost added to the portal and have its own event home. Much like we had with previous events, Festival will have its own exclusive reward pass. And as you play through the event and complete challenges, you'll progress your ranks, unlocking exclusive gear and rewards. These include the Wicked Web Shader, the Messenger Projection, and the Bones Akimbo Transmit Effect, the Slasher Shell, Skira's Gaze Ship, and the Candy Bone Sparrow. Completing daily and weekly challenges will also reward event tokens, which can be used in the Festival of the Lost reward shop, which will have its own gear and rewards. To kick off the festival, Guardians must first visit Eva Levante in the Tower Courtyard and collect the quest Classic Carving, which consists of several steps, including completing Haunted Altars of Sorrow or Crucible Red Rumble matches, whilst wearing a festival mask. And as part of the first steps of the quest, Eva will give you your Masquerader's helm, cowl or hood for the event. Once equipped, you'll be able to add any past or new festival masks as ornaments, with the event home being a way to earn new festival masks and purchase upgrades using candy. Joining the long list of masks from previous festivals, this year will feature 9 new masks, some of which will be earnable in the event. The Orin masks defeat headless ones throughout the system and complete waves of Haunted Altars of Sorrow. Grim masks dunk treats in Haunted Altars of Sorrow and defeat combatants whilst using void damage. Fungal masks shatter void crystals and defeat combatants in Haunted Altars of Sorrow. Failsafe masks purchase and upgrade defences in Haunted Altars of Sorrow and defeat combatants whilst using Gorge grenades. Ulrich's mask defeat guardians in Festival of the Lost Crucible matches and collect candy with a mask equipped. And Lodi mask. Collect candy with a mask equipped and complete Festival of the Lost activities including Haunted Altars of Sorrow and Crucible matches. Other masks available in the Eververse store are the Weasel Era mask, Spicy Ramen mask, and Drop Pod mask. This year Festival Mask will be able to equip a new costume mod, which in effect will be able to change your helmet to match any armor set currently in the game, meaning you won't lose your step bonuses when wearing this year's masks. Also, Festival Mask will be able to equip a new Festival Sandbox mod, much like we had with the Haunted Forest in 2019. Candy Devourer, picking up a piece of candy grants Devour, Sugar Crush, picking up a piece of candy generates a weakened pulse, and Sweet Shielding, picking up a piece of candy grants an overshield. These Festival of the Lost Mask mods will be available to purchase from the Haunted Mask tab in the event home. Equipping a Festival Masquerader's mask is the only way to earn candy by completing activities and defeating combatants throughout the system. Completing Haunted Altars of Sorrow and Red Rumble will also earn you Eerie Weapon engrams, which contain event weapons and Hollow weapons. There will also be up to 2 daily Eerie engrams available from other portal activities. Festival candy can be used to purchase Eerie Weapon engrams, as well as upgraded Hocus Focusing from last year's event, where you can now select your exotic armor archetypes, like at Rahul and Ada 1. And returning from last year, exotic class items will be available to purchase directly from Eva, for 1 Eerie engram and 2500 candy. You can purchase as many as you like, and if you have attunement unlocked, you'll be guaranteed to get your selected exotic class item attunement perk. Also, if you haven't completed Dual Destiny, you can still purchase the Festival of the Lost exotic class item reward. This year we'll see a brand new strand position frame bow, Hush Whisper, and new kinetic lightweight frame submachine gun, Gunburn, along with last year's Arc Heavy Burst Shotgun, Arcane Embrace with an updated perk pool. These weapons also have a green holofoil version available for each. Plus there's a chance to earn the Submersion crossbow from Eerie engrams. And all Festival of the Lost weapons drop with a higher tier than your current level allows you to earn, just like during Solstice. Festival of the Lost also brings with it triumphs as well as a renewed title to unlock and guild to become a Ghost Writer. Triumphs to complete are All Master, First Mask Upgrade, Costume Completionist, Monster Fall, Defensive Decor, Phantasmic Fighter, Gold Shiver, Portal Modifiers, Candy Collector, Total Gem, Wear the Mask, and Nonpareilly. Voted on by the community, this year we have iconic horror movie armor ornament sets. Titans get Jason Voorhees, Warlocks get Slenderman, and Hunters get La Lorena. These sets will be available for 6,000 Bright Dust or 1,500 Silver from the Eververse store. Also new in the Eververse store this year will be 2 new exotic emotes, 1 legendary, 1 projection, and a finisher, along with the Ghastly Light Shell, the Pink Puff Shell, the Beautiful Beast Ship, the Winged Runner Ship, with the Plushosaurus Sparrow. Also available for silver only in the Eververse store will be the new Skimmer Ghastly Knight, 5 new shaders and the Pterodactyl Holochip effect. Also earnable should be the Lost Memento, which you can put into your crafted weapons to gain access to the All Black Shader Twilight Keepsake. And if you missed out on grabbing the Super Black Shader from Into the Light or last year's festival, we should have another chance to grab it again this year. Festival of the Lost runs from October 21st to November 4th, 2025. In the Portal Crucible Ops this week will be Competitive, Control, Red Rumble, and a variant of Cutting Edge, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Other non-featured modes of 3v3 Lockdown and 6v6 Relic can be found over on the Crucible Director. In the solo ops we have Skywatch, the Salt Mines, the Conflux, Creation, K1 Logistics, and Caldera. In the fighting ops we have the 3 new Reclaim missions, Cabal's Watch, Conductor's Keep, and Fallen Bunker, Battlegrounds Behemoth, and Episode Echo's Core, 3 additional strikes of Hypernet Current, Insight Terminus, and Fallen Saber, 3 expeditions from Season of Plunder, Nessus, Cosmodrome, and Europa. We also have the Strikes of Liminality, the Devil's Lair, Proving Grounds, the Inverted Spire, and the Glassway. Battlegrounds Oracle, Foothold, Delve and Conduit, Empire Hunts the Warrior, Technocrat and Dark Priestess with Savathun Spire Offensive. In the Pinnacle Ops we have the 3 Dungeon Layers, Pit of Heresy Beneath the Necropolis, Duality Nightmare of Golron, and Warlord Ruin Heaven's Vengeance. The new exotic mission Heliostat with the Wolfsbane Exotic Axe as the main reward. Move from Fireteam Ops we have Onslaught Widow's Call and Midtown, Episode Revenant Contest of Elders with the Coil. Exotic Missions Presage with the Dead Man's Tale Exotic Scout Rifle being the main reward. The Season the Haunted, and Opulent Weapon Sets, plus the Idolian Pursuant Armor Set. Node Override Avalon with Excalibur Exotic Glaive being the main reward. And the Season the Defiance Weapon Set. Starcrossed with the Wishkeeper Exotic Bow being the main reward. And the Season the Wish Weapon Set. The Whisper with the Whisper of the Worm Exotic Sniper being the main reward. Kel's Fall with the Slayer's Fang Exotic Shotgun being the main reward. And Encore with the Choir of One Auto Rifle being the main reward. On Kepler, Featured Mission 1 this week will be Quarantine, and Featured Mission 2 will be Message. This week's challenges are Electric Shred, Deepest Base, and Rapid Precision. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blindwell features Taken Enemies and the Plague Oinamina. The Ascendant Challenge will be Ouroboros over in the Affiliates Rest Lost Sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Zortal in Sorrow's Harbour. Nightmare hunts Tanix, Isolation, Zydron, Servitude, and Ghoul, Rage. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Fogoth and the Blasphemer Shotgun. On Europa this week, Praxisi Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Days of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Hive, Fallen, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn Armor Set and the Lightkin Armor Set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 3. Chroma Rush, Ignition Code, Grid Skipper, Farewell, Sonja's Tale, Shattered Cipher, Main Ingredient, Long Shadow, Last Dance, Toil and Trouble, Wishbringer, and Last Perdition. The Witch Queen Weekly Story Mission is The Ritual, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with the Arc Grenade Launcher, Tarnation, and Vazul Solar Scorn Chieftain as the boss. The Lightfall Weekly Mission is No Time Left, the Partition Mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex Incursion will be Liming Harbour. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Lost Sector rotation for this week will start with Veil's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome, Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City, Skydot 4 on the EDZ, Perdition on Europa, K1 Logistics on the Moon, Gilded Precept on Neptune, the Conflux on Nessus, Extraction on the Throne World, and the Forgotten Deep in the Pale Heart. With the Edge of Fate, all raids and all challenges are now available all the time, and at present there are also no featured raids or dungeons each week. And the Ashen Iron update now allows you to farm past raids and dungeons for their respective exotic weapons, with no weekly lockouts. The new raid, the Desert Perpetual over on Kepler, has now been updated with a normal and epic version, with both dropping Tier 3 plus loot, with a chance of the exotic rocket launcher Whirling Ovation to drop. The Sundered Doctrine dungeon can be found over on the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality Zaga up for grabs. The exotic mission rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic grenade launcher being the main reward. The Season of the Risen's weapon set, plus the Tusk Allegiance armor set. The exotic missions The Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. And that's it for the 7th week of Ashen Iron. But the cool thing this week is that there's going to be some mods that are available only on the helmet. And you know what it's like when you've got kind of a build going. These mods now change the helmet to whatever armor type that you want it to be. So say you're running a full set of the Iron Panoply set, and because you've had to put on the Haunted helmet, that then knocks down your build because you've got like all 4 other pieces and your exotic. This now, with the helmets that are coming with the festival, you can put in a mod that's only going to be available for the festival that will change that helmet to be part of the armor set. And they've got it you can select whichever mod you want for whichever set. So that's pretty cool.
So do you remember they used to have those other mods where you used to be airborne, you'd take less damage and stuff like that?
They've also included those as well. So you can change your helmet to be whatever armor set that you want. And then they've also got 3 other mods that are very similar to that. So you've got Candy Devour. So picking up pieces of candy grants Devour. Sugar Crush, picking up pieces of candy generates weakened pulse, or Sweet Shield, picking up pieces of candy grants an overshield. So it's very similar to those 3 different ones, but the only thing that I didn't go over in This Week in Destiny is to commemorate Fallen Guardians. They're giving away the Feral Heart emblem if you tune into your favourite Destiny 2 streamer for at least 30 minutes from October 21st at 10 a.m. PT until October 28th, 10 a.m. PT. You must link your Bungie account to the Twitter to receive the emblem, and you can redeem the emblem by logging into your Bungie.net account and going to the Partner Rewards section of the Code Redemption area.
Which not Twitter, but we know what you meant.
Twitch, yeah. Twitch, Twitter, yeah. All the Twiz.
One of those sites on the internet where you can link things and it'll give you things, you know.
Yeah, and it's lots of candles. Looks pretty cool.
It's candles, very spooky, very Halloweeny.
Again, no mention of Iron Banner. We've got Call to Arms, and there's a preview in this week's TWAB. So starting November 11th, they're debuting the brand new event called Call to Arms. Devrim K has been tapped up by the Vanguard to help the Last City find the best gear in the Sol system for its mortal forces. Devrim is asking all Guardians to put their best loadouts to the test by racking up high scores than ever before. To aid that effort, Guardians can visit Devrim to increase the chances of receiving select weapons from this season's events via weapon attunement. So this is where they were talking about that this event's going to be coming along and you can attune to the crossbow that maybe some people have got, maybe some people haven't got. So you can actually attune to it so it will drop, hopefully drop a lot more in activities.
Is that heavy one?
Yes, it's the heavy one.
Yeah, the submersion.
I've had one of those. It's weird.
I got one from the Reclamation when it was when we had the Reclamation event. I got one in Iron Banner, and then I got one about a week after that to kind of drop. So I had one literally every week, I think, just randomly drop in doing portal activities. So they do turn up.
I didn't even know they were rare, and then I got one in Iron Banner, and somebody called me a name for getting one during Iron Banner.
Did they?
Who
was that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we know who it was because I only played Iron Banner with one person.
Oh. That's nasty of Blue to say things to you like that.
Yeah, horrible, man.
Yeah. Devrim will also be importing daily shipments that feature powerful gear from different activities. This will be a great time to complete your seasonal gear collection before Renegades begins. So that sounds interesting. So you might not necessarily have to go and do a raid to get the raid gear. No, they won't do that, will they, Peroty?
Not yet.
They might do.
give them. Let the player count continue to crater, or give me another 6 to 12 months. Then it'll be there.
Yeah,
I can't help but look at this preview of what I assume is a holofoil for this activity, and it has this nice little sort of forest green and white look to it, just like some other event that's in this game that we won't.
No,
name.
you don't have. No, there's no other event in the game. There's an old pillar that's rotting away. It's a bit like the Pantheon in Greece. It's just there, holding up the roof.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
They've taken the scaffolding down, but it still looks the same.
The holofoil variant does look very pretty, but I'm looking over this list of weapons, and the submersion combat bow, the heavy crossbow, romantic death grenade launcher, which I'm not sure I've seen. Folder root rocket launcher, ribbon tail trace rifle, Synestia sword, Nutria Fera hand cannon, and then the track and a shotgun. Other than the submersion, if you don't have any, I'm going. Did we lay off every weapon designer in the game?
It's just Mercules now. He's just designing all of them.
It just feels like it's been these same handful of weapons over and over and over again. I'm going, these are not exciting. If you're trying to get a good version of them, you should probably have it by now. Probably 6 or 7 of them. It really does feel like it's the same handful of weapons. I'm going, I have a couple of those. I tossed them in the vault. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, the subversion for people who weren't getting them to drop because they were super rare. I got a couple. I sort of been the same thing. I got one out of Reclaim, like one out of Iron Banner, and then I got a couple last week in the Arms Week thing. That I don't know if I can't remember if it was for turning in the engrams or what, but Like that seems desirable, but the rest of this, I'm going. Does anybody care? I'm sure somebody does, but I mean, talk about wanting there to be loot and wanting there to be a reason to play. It's like, okay, I mean, maybe I could be a higher tier and get better versions of these guns, but this is not it. I mean, am I still going to play it? Yes, but it just, I don't know.
I'm looking forward to playing the Haunted Altar.
Yeah, no, very much. Yeah, that I'm excited to play.
Yeah.
I almost, I won't say I don't. I'm not going to say I don't care because there's an SMG that has kinetic tremors, which is delicious. But I mean
that
like that's just a good activity. Like I would play that anyway,
Mm.
and that seems like a lot of fun. The Haunted Altar I'm super excited about.
You may be excited though to do the call to arms, because not only are you going to be able to get those weapons, but Devram has got you covered with next season's weapons. How do you feel about that? So you can get Renegade stuff pre-Renegades.
So in the past, I would have said very excited. Currently, as we stand, does that just mean I'll get these weapons now and then I'll be very sick of them by the time Renegades comes out?
Possibly. It just adds fuel to the fire of what I've been saying. Is like, so if we get these weapons beforehand and you get a god roll beforehand, what are you then playing Renegades for apart from doing the story and the dungeon, and then it's over and out? I'm going to go and play whatever else is the flavour of the month for the rest of December, January, and February.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe.
Do we have more than what feels like the same 8 weapons for the next couple of months? Like, is there I know we're getting things with Renegades. I know there will be new weapons. If nothing else, the Star Wars style blaster and stuff like that. But is it just going to be these handful of weapons and that's it? Are there going to be more things? Like in the past, I would have said, yeah, I'm super excited to get stuff early because I'm going to get a preview of what's coming and what kind of new weapon types or new things Bungie is showing off. But it just
it's probably only a small assortment. It's probably not going to be like the hand solo blaster. It's not going to be the laser sword. It's
right, because
they'll save that for Renegades.
I know what I expect it to be, but yeah, it really just feels like now you're going to give me the same weapons to play with longer, unless there is unless we do have a batch of new weapons coming in Renegades.
Well, they have listened to like the community with like, when you bring an event, bring other stuff, bring some cosmetics, because there's going to be a new exotic weapon ornament for the new Malapus, that exotic that we got recently. Was that this part of? Was this Ashen Iron? Did we get it at the beginning of Ashen Iron?
Yeah,
Or was it
of Ashen Iron
Reclamation? I can't remember now. Anyway, that exotic is getting a new ornament in this new event. We're also going to be getting Sparrow, a ship, Ghost Shell, shaders, finishers, and Holofor weapons from just doing the event ranks. So they have listened to us. Like, just give us some cosmetics. Just instead of throwing it all in Eververse, we're going to get some stuff. So that might be enough to entice people to come back.
Yeah, I did see some headline about a no silver event. Like, is everything actually earnable in game if you were to play it?
No, I mean it's the same with like Festival. There are things that you can earn like in Festival, like with some of the masks now are back to being earnable, whereas they used to just, for the last couple of like festivals, I feel that they did a couple in Eververse that you could buy for silver and Bright Dust, and then it was just or just Bright Dust, or just silver. This time they've sort of kind of gone back to the point of, well, we'll give them some masks that you can earn by doing various different things in the game, which was what we really enjoyed in Festival in the first place, because all my masks that I've got, I've earned by playing Festival of the Lost. Apart from some of the ones that came up for Bright Dust in the last couple of years that were only silver the year before. That's what I enjoyed about doing Festival of the Lost, is that you could do activities, you could do different parts of the quests or challenges to get the masks unlocked. And I would make it my kind of thing to do to get these masks unlocked. And they've kind of gone back to being able to do that. But there's still a number of them that are going to only be available for silver, maybe Bright Dust in the store for this year anyway. Last year's ones probably come back up for Bright Dust. But
yeah. I mean, the mask collecting kind of was the point.
Yeah.
You know, again, like there still need to be weapons. Like I can't overstate enough. There still needs to be a weapon or weapons that are desirable, because even playing for purely cosmetics is fun, but I also need to, have an arsenal. I'm also here to play the looter shooter to get the loot and then shoot with it.
No, I'm sorry. You are always telling everybody that fashion game is. So therefore, you don't need weapons. No, you just need.
No, fashion game is paramount, but you also fashion game is paramount, but you also need something to chase. If again, looking at the list of going, come back and play. It'll be the same weapons you've got over the last however many months. That's not. Pretty things are good, but I also want there to be things to shoot with. Like there needs to be, and even then, that's just me. I enjoy collecting fashion things and the Eververse things and masks, but people need a reason to play this game. People desperately need a reason to play the. Bungie needs a reason for people to play this game, so you need to give them things worth chasing. And cosmetics are the cherries on top. If there's a weapon worth getting, again, that's why when the trials there was a gun there to get. I've never cared about the trials cosmetics because they're just cosmetics. They're the cherry on top of something you enjoy doing and something you're going to get. But being just the cosmetics, that only gets you so far.
Yeah. And it does sound like this Call to Arms event is going to be very similar to Guardian Games. And not Guardian Games that we had last year, but the year previous, where your high scores really did matter. Because if you got into that high, like, was it 10%, you got rewarded for the chests and things that you kind of got. It very much sounds like this is what this is going to be. There's going to be 5 different portal activities that you can compete in. And you need to get like high scores in these activities to get prestigious prizes based on your kind of standings. So they said we've got, with the exception of cutting edge zone control, which requires a full set of new gear, there's no restrictions on loadouts to be equipped. But launching Call to Arms activities from the event home will make you and your fire team eligible for competitive high scores. And the activities are Heliostat, the Coil, the Salt Mines, Proving Grounds, and Cutting Edge Zone Control. And your high scores are awarded competitive points based on how the score compares to the scores and percentiles of other Guardians. The total number of competitive points determines the reward received at the end of the event. So is it the end of the event that you're playing, or the end of the week, or the end of the Call to Arms? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
But they give us a bit of perspective on it. It says Guardians who can earn a top 10% score for 2 of the 5 Call to Arms activities will earn enough competitors' points to be eligible for the new Universal Helmet Ornament, and the best of best Guardians score in the top 1% in just one activity will also have enough competitor points to be eligible for the same reward. So is it going to be for the end? Because with the Guardian Games thing, that was quite hard to get into that top 10% once everybody started pushing up those scores. You remember that? If you got in at the beginning of the week and you got that 10%, but by the end of the week, your score would have maybe dropped down to, you would have been in the top 100. But if you got in that top 10% on that first day, you kind of checked that box and it ticked and counted. So is it going to be something similar to that? Is that if everybody races to get on at the beginning of the week, gets in that top 10%, on across various different things, or top 1% for one thing, then they'll have ticked that box? Or is it going to be running like a running score kind of thing? Don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my gut just says it's going to be the same. Like, yeah, if you can get on early in the week or before the best strat to run up your score ridiculously is released, then yeah, maybe you can qualify for it. But other than that, you might as well not even try, because the scores are now 60 trillion higher than they should be, than they were in the earlier in the week.
Yeah, I hope they've worked this out, to be honest.
I'm not holding my breath.
Prestigious competitive prizes that can be awarded or earned. 2 new emblems, one granted to all players who post high scores, one for top score Guardians. New transmat, new shader, and legendary universal helmet ornament. And it looks pretty cool. It looks like you've just got flames and fire coming off the top of a gladiator's helmet.
Yeah, I'm hoping that better be the universal ornament, because that looks really good. I
Yeah,
wanna
but
be a
you've got to put out to get it. You've got to be the top 1%. So
I'll put out to get it.
Hey, to make it worthwhile, I'll come out and come get it. Know what I mean? Make it worthwhile.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Shiny helmets, Bungie. We just want shiny helmets. Give us shiny helmets, and we'll be very happy.
Shiny things are awesome.
Oh dear.
We just want to walk through the tower with our, glowing blue flamey helmet because we did well in the Nightfall that week. Come on, that's all we're here for.
Yeah, give us that back.
I miss that. And you got an
Yeah.
orange one as well if you completed a raid.
Oh, you get a really good one now. You get, I think it's a ready orange one if you play some of the portal activities, and it's got that modifier on that if you're the player that's done the most damage to the enemies, you're then on a disadvantage.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, you're then on a disadvantage of putting out less damage to the enemies. And I can tell you, it's really, really good fun when you solo the Whisper mission on the Conqueror difficulty. And that modifier's on.
You are that player by default.
You go from let's complete this in 15 minutes to let's complete this in 69 minutes.
Bungie.
Sounds like the perfect amount of minutes.
Well, it got to the point where I'd done so much damage just entering the Whisper mission because I'd killed the champion just outside the bubble. So that when I got to the first set of enemies, I was doing so much less damage, and it took me about 10 minutes to get through the first room with all the blights and things. And then by the time I got to the second room, my timer had run out, so it had taken all my lives away. I think I had 6 stacked up. So I then had to spend the rest of that mission sitting at the back of the room, sniping things and just hoping and praying that I had enough sword ammo to kind of just walk up to the champions and freeze them and block them. So that's why it took me 69 minutes. So yeah, that's a really good crown that we've now got going on for that. So yeah, I don't like that crown.
See, that's a perfect example of I would have seen that and said, nope, I'm on this mission and never come back.
Well, no, I saw it as a good challenge. I mean, when I saw it, I thought I could do the Whisper mission, and it doesn't matter how long it takes me. But then we're having that modifier on as well. It was like, oh my God, you just, there's so many champions in here, and they're just one shot could kill me. So I'm wrapping myself in this sword with my strongholds, and then I'm going to sit in the cave in the back in that last room and then just snipe everything. So I was like, yes.
I don't care how long this takes me, he says 6 weeks later.
No, but I did it, and I was proud of myself for doing it.
And
it's like that old woman from Titanic by the time it had finished. He just sat at the back of the Whisper machine instead, just dropping his gun. It's been 64 years.
It did feel like that at the end. I was like, I'm not going to do the solo saber mission. I'm not going to do solo. I need a team for this, and I've got to wait till other people get to that level to then go and do it. So really annoying. But yeah, let's talk about the Destiny 2 Creator Hub Epic Raid Challenge, because they've got one of those coming. So over the next 2 weeks, creator teams and their communities will be competing to claim the best time in the Epic Raid in a closed speedrun challenge. Each team has a pre-nominated 6-hour window when they are allowed to play through the Epic Raid as many times as they wish and submit their best runtime for consideration. Now, Peroty and I have not been invited into the Destiny Creator Hub, but I could already foresee that this would be an issue. We wouldn't be able to complete it in 6 hours. We'd need at least 8 just to get for maybe the first encounter. And that's being generous, I think.
Yeah. At least. Yeah. Just a very interesting. Did we know about this beforehand? I feel like this is the first. Maybe they mentioned it.
I think they did.
I just can't keep track.
Yeah, they did mention it at some point.
What they've mentioned or what the Bungie Foundation tweeted or what, whatever. It's was this a thing? Are we excited about this? I don't know. I've never felt so out of touch with this game. Was this a thing we knew about? Yeah, so they're going to race through the Epic Raid between, yesterday, because of course, yesterday and the 26th of October. So yeah, I know 19 minutes itching to read you all of these names, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to say, hey, there's a lot of teams.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it this time. They're not tricking me.
Don't read. It's difficult. Reading is too difficult.
they've got a bunch of people, they've got a bunch of names. You can go and see if you are aware this is happening or care to watch. You can watch them during their 6-hour blocks. It does have like all 6 people on the team and their Twitch, YouTubes, and Twitters. If for those of I guess who submitted them or shared them in some way. But yeah, you can go look at them. And again, if you do watch some of them, they'll be giving away the All That emblem during their live streams. Unclear if it's just a giveaway or if you watch for a amount of time. I'm guessing they've given them X number of these emblems to give away, so you have a chance to win one. Looks like a party in space, confetti and random shapes. You could be all that. And if you don't feel like being all that, Bungie's at TwitchCon, which will be over by the time you hear this. So hope you saw Bungie at TwitchCon and got your emblem or didn't, because it's over now. You know what's not over, though? Issues. No,
never over.
Well, Bungie just wants to remind us again, we had update 9151 this week, and it did all the things that we talked about. You've got your lovely tech stack supply drop, a whole bunch of unstable cores that they're going to rip out of your hands because they're not going to matter anymore. But we have our known issues list, once again, grouped into categories. So it is slightly shorter than last week, so we're moving in the right direction. But we have general known issues. We've seen reports that Vault from inventory does not work correctly on controller. Correct. A change was made when players toggle into Vault mode on the character screen, open the Vault, then go back to the character screen. It is no longer in Vault mode. However, we've seen feedback that many prefer this change. We'll continue to monitor the feedback about this change. So, Bungie, I can't pull things from the vaults on my character on a controller. Are you telling me this is now a change you've made in our keeping? Are you planning on fixing this? I'm unclear what this means. Do I need to enter the vault a different way to be able to pull things from it and put things into it? Or shall I just go back to ignoring this and use DIM because that works reliably? I truly don't understand what they're trying to tell us with this.
Use DIM. Just use DIM. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. Use DIM on your favorite app because, it just simply, you go in, you look at the vault, and you say, oh, I like that weapon. Or hey, I like to put this weapon into the vault, and it just switches your weapons around versus putting them in the vault. It's dumb. The new competitive emblem for reaching Ascendant 3 is not visible in your collections. So if you've gotten it, don't delete it because you can't get it again. For abilities, the Hunter's Prismatic Grenade ejects off a target if an Area of Denial Grenade launcher is used on the target. So the Area of Denial Grenade apparently protects the target from the Hunter's Prismatic Grenade. Perfect. So if you want to play with, just troll some Hunters who are running Prismatic, there you go. The Roaring Flames Titan aspect is not activating on ignitions caused by weapons. So Roaring Flames, much less roaring. Arc chaining from the Lethal Current aspect is not activating on combination blow. Yeah, good times. So activities in Portal, breaking Vex crystals in the Heliostat mission is not granting Wolfbane intrinsics to all players in the fire team. Specifically to Night Demons.
Yeah, specifically to Mace.
The Heliostat exotic mission lists the incorrect selection of champions when previewing the activity. It should state that players will encounter barrier and unstoppable champions. Now, Bungie, if you know it's incorrect, and you know what it should be, when are we going to push the change to fix the text? Now, I understand, I'm sure you can't just update the text file and push that live and I'm sure, I know it has to come in and update. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but this is text on a screen. Can we at least say, hey, we will update this in the next update we push out because it's text we have to change? Maybe? Pretty please? Activity completion rewards from the Contest of Elders are going directly to the Postmaster. So good news, we fixed the Fallen Saber Strike. However, now the Contest of Elder activity, activity rewards are just going to the Postmaster directly. So hope your Postmaster isn't full because they're just going to go there now. And when they fix that one, maybe it'll be a different activity next. Okay, so this is in the Shattered Throne dungeon. If a player completes the encounter, then tries to spawn Theratos Archer's Bane in the Shattered Throne dungeon, it will not spawn. Players can work around this by spawning this enemy before completing the encounter. Okay, and then they pasted in again the Heliostat exotic mission listing the incorrect selection of champions. Cool, good job.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that spell check don't work in two different places.
Not even spell check, just the
Well,
entire
just text check.
the proofreading, the entire same thing. Hey, you should still be getting barrier and unstoppable champions. As we learned, it doesn't tell you barrier, but it's barrier and unstoppable in Heliostat. That's what it should be. For error codes, players will encounter honeydew errors when selecting portal activity and difficulty, then swapping gear and dropping below the power requirement. In challenges and pursuits, players are unable to complete the Fallen Fall seasonal challenge. I don't know what the Fallen Fall seasonal challenge is, but you can't complete it, so don't try.
You have to kill Fallen, and they fall, and they hurt their knees.
They do. The Testament of Strength Iron Banner quest cannot be dismantled. We're also not going to bring you an Iron Banner, but also can't be dismantled.
Yeah, so you can't complete it, and you can't dismantle it. It's just there. So you should have done it the first week because it's not coming back again, is what they're saying.
Yeah. No.
Evil Bungie.
And yeah, so yeah.
Good news,
the Fallen Fall is our current week 14. Defeat fallen combatants in portal activities, earn bonus progress through defeating tougher combatants. So I guess it's just not progressing. I don't know. Yeah, kill Fallen. Can't be killed. Fallen are immortal. And then we have movie, and then we have artwork, and then we have the end of the TWAB. So yeah.
Fallen Fall, after Demon's discussion of it, explanation of it, should I say? All I can envision now is, does anybody watch Family Guy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when they fall over and they spend like 2 minutes of the entire episode just like Peter holding his knee or something and saying ouch for like 2 minutes and just rocking backwards? That's now the vision I have of Fallen on the floor after you've shot them, just on the floor, just like holding a knee.
You shouldn't have shot them then. Don't shoot them. They hurt their knees.
Not in the knees, at least. Yeah. So yeah, don't shoot the Fallen because they can't be killed. Simply not possible.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think the news of the week was basically, hey guys, here's a bunch of cores. They're unstable, so we're going to give them to you till December, and then we're going to take them all out of the game entirely. That I think was the extent of the news for this week. I didn't really see anything else that wasn't that. And other than like a couple of like, hey, we missed a line in the TWAB, or hey, there's a typo here that they've since fixed, unless we've since read to you.
Yeah. Well, I do have some videos to recommend if we've got nothing else this week.
We do, because I have no videos. So what videos should people watch?
Well, the secret ending is the one for Heliostat. Secret ending from Evase is the one who goes over all the dialogue. Pretty cool. Then we have the Bungie Can't Math from Cheese Forever.
Math is hard.
Yeah. There was a trailer that was put out from Destiny Rising this week, Threats from Beyond teaser. So I will link that as well, because that was pretty cool. And I think that was it. Just apart from that, it was, there wasn't anything people were, excited about or changes that came to the game. So, yeah.
Lots of people talking about Arc Raiders and people talking about the changes that we've already
Battlefield and Call of Duty and all those other games that just,
people talking about all the good things, and more or less going, let's see what Renegades brings us. We're finally getting to the point where maybe things will be in better shape. We'll see though. Not holding my breath, but we'll see. What we're also going to see is where our Patreons are. And so
there is one here. He's hiding.
I'm here.
Yeah, I know. So since we've lured one in, we just set a trap, and then he took the bait, and now he's here. Now he's trapped and can't leave.
I know. I came to say hello.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And then we the spider invited the fly into the web, and then now you're here. Now you're stuck. But we appreciate you being stuck and hanging out with us. So Noble, thank you for being here. One of our lovely patrons who we lured into our web, and now you're trapped forever. Next, we're gonna lay it trapped for Golden God 1562, the man coming from Texas, and Farrell. We're gonna lay all the traps. Maybe just throw grenades their way, sort of just push them, flush them out into the open, then lure them in. And then once we've done that, we're gonna threaten Renard Calant with a good time. We're gonna all surround him, throw grenades at him, and just threaten him with a good time, and cats, also cat things. So
that's not a threat. That man.
That's
he
a
would
promise.
Accept cats.
The cats are a promise. The threats are yet to come. And yeah, until next week when we're out running around on the moon, shooting things, shooting people, doing all the lovely moon things. Thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty 19-minute novel because we're here every single week telling you all the things. You can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. Really, just go to twotitansandahunter.com. At the top of the page, there's all the lovely links to all the places. You can email the show, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. If at this point, I don't know how you've avoided us on YouTube, but you shouldn't, because this nice British man puts out all these lovely Eververse videos, 801 videos, what modes are coming up, what Festival of the Lost things you should be playing, how Festival of the Lost works. He does lots of good work. You should go there and follow the show and leave little comments, because we love reading your comments. They're fun. All these shows and all the notes over all these shows live at twotitansandahunter.com. If you want to join the Otter Dance Troop, threaten us with a good time, toss grenades our way, join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTAH. Looking for more casual encounter, coffee.com/twotitansandahunter. And, we're Destiny streamers, theoretically, kind of. Twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter. I can't vouch that you'll definitely get the emblem by watching people, watching us stream there, but maybe. So you should go there and hit the button. You never know. And until next week, when 19 I know is working on his spooky vampire voice. I'm not sure what voice we're gonna have, but I feel like he's taken the pirate inspiration.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes,
he's absolutely working on some sort of Dracula something voice. So you'll just have to tune in next week to see what he comes up with, and who we potentially lured in to talk all things spooky with us. Until next week, gents. Tell the people goodbye.
Goodbye.
ta-ra.
Toodle pip.
Ta-ra.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.